Welcome everybody once again to Road Conversations. Today, as you can see, I'm very happy that you are here, Ella. I know we met about 4 weeks ago in one of the events that you were speaking at the Tri-Net, the Tri-County.
Yes, FACC Tri-County.
FACC Tri-County, and that is a Filipino Chamber of Commerce, correct?
Yes.
And I've got the chance to get to know JV a lot better. He was here last week with Anthony.
Oh.
But this is the power of us exposing ourselves to build relationships with other people.
Yes.
Because you never know where it's going to go.
You never know.
But today you get to be here on our podcast. My first female guest.
Thank you.
You know, so I've been saying this for a long time. I need to have a female. But man, it's having you here. It's amazing. I'm really happy. And I can't wait for people to know who you are, what you've done, but also who leads you.
Amen.
You know, which we have that in common. And everybody that listens to this podcast, they know it's business, but it's God. God comes in the first of everything that we do. So if you guys are ready to hear a conversation about how this amazing woman has created an amazing business, how she has helped other businesses secure government funding, but also how she has put pen to paper and created different books. You're going to want to sit down for this podcast. So without further ado, let me read your bio if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. Ella Daya. Ella Daya is the CEO of FGG Enterprises, Inc., and Found Publishing Corporation. Ella has over 30 years of experience managing several firms, including a construction management firm, an aerospace staffing firm, and a healthcare staffing firm. She has successfully led the business, securing over $1 billion in contracting and winning awards. With this background, she became a sought-after speaker and advisor. Man, I can see how. Ella turned to entrepreneurship and founded FGG. Can you tell us what FGG is?
For God's glory.
For God's glory.
Yes.
With the goal of helping small business win contracts with both the public and the private sector. This includes teaching and training small business owners on proposal writing and finding opportunities. Ella started Found with the goal of writing books that inspire and educate young minds.
Yes.
She released her first book last November, Where the Socks Go.
Yes.
She has 18 other copyrighted works and is on a mission to publish at least 60.
Yes.
Wow. But more than that, her professional and creative achievements, what truly defines her is her unwavering faith. Everything she does is dedicated to serving God and uplifting others, whether through business, literature, or ministry.
Yes.
Man, one thing that I love about what is happening in this podcast is this, that I get the chance to meet people like you that are not afraid anymore to speak about who our God is and how we got to where we are today thanks to Him. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I bring this up, I got to a point in my life I got tired of being told we don't talk politics, we don't talk religion, but yet we kept on being fed an agenda on TV that it goes against what the biblical foundation should be of respecting one another. And in the meantime, while an agenda continues to flood our kids in school, a lot of us decided not to speak. So to me, it's like, you know what? Why do I hold back? And I was holding back because I was afraid. I was afraid to lose business. That was the saddest thing. I was afraid that if I would come public and talk about my relationship with God, people wouldn't want to do business with me.
Yes.
And I don't think I'm the only one that felt like that. But once I realized, what am I doing? The Lord didn't put this platform for me to be quiet, just to keep Him on the back scenes.
Exactly.
On behind the scenes, He needs to be on the front stage. And ever since I was able to accept and become vocal about it, I start to meet people like you.
Exactly.
You know, people that have accepted Him and understand that everything that we do, like your bio says, is for His glory.
Amen. Actually, it's easy to, of course, when I'm speaking, I have to speak about what the topic is about, right? Especially now, government contracting, small business success, how to do business with, let's say, LA, because I'm from LA County, right? City of LA. But what they have to also know is nothing matters. Sharing, because I can share secrets, but that won't necessarily give them $1 billion.
Right.
Or even 10,000. Or maybe they will even get beyond it and win 3 billion. But after that, if our lifespan is only 70 or 60, my parents 50, both of them, it's not like you're gonna it's going to help for your bill, with your bills, but nothing really matters. Nothing is worth sharing. Look, we share Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Funny. And they're funny. A lot of people with YouTube, I found out a lot of people are very funny and smart. They're like, I feel so small watching these people because I'm like, oh, I have this degree and I have all these, but people are seriously funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really funny to share them, but then again, it doesn't add to their lives. So what I found out is every speaking engagement I have can only be worthy and worth it if they understand that all these is just, let's say, skill. This is paycheck. But what my life is about is deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's the relationship with God and God leading all these.
Amen.
All that I'm doing is not just because God told me to do things. No, He's leading me
to do these things.
Because everybody thinks, oh, I'm a leader. Since I was a kid, I was a leader. But what they don't understand is the leader was really God, and I was just doing what He was telling me to do.
You're mentioning being a leader. Literally, I'm driving to the office this morning, and I forgot where it is. But for those who wants to be a leader, must be the greatest servant of them all.
Exactly.
So that is what Jesus came and He did.
Yeah.
He was the greatest leader there's ever been on this planet Earth because He walked this earth. He was man, He was God. And the greatest thing that He did was to serve others.
And you could see that with the apostles, right?
Yeah.
If there was social media during the time,
oh man.
Oh, that would have been really messy, right?
Imagine getting those miracles recorded. Then they'll go viral like that.
Exactly. And yet some people would say it's still fake news, right?
Oh, yeah.
It would have been, so thank God that He came when He came,
Mm-hmm.
and He died when He died, because it was perfect for spreading the word in a way that's real. Because people, just like when they say, oh, you won this much, people might say, oh, that's not true. Well, I have a list.
You want me to show you?
I can show you the list. I can show you the names of the titles of the contract. I can show you the duration. I can show you even the receipts, literal receipts of the invoices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't argue with actual experience. And so during that time, the apostles, it was actually, somebody was getting healed.
Right.
Somebody was getting saved. Somebody was, dead to life, like Lazarus. So those are the things that hopefully even now with social media, we can share. Because the best thing that we can share right now is reality, truth. And that is what happened in our lives. And so, of course, I share tips on how to win contracts. I can share my skills in writing proposals. But in the end, you want to share God, because everything, they will forget my tips. They will forget even the agencies that I talk about, like, Metro's really good, But the Lord said, His word shall not return void.
Amen.
Whatever I share that's glorifying to the Lord, 10 years from now, 8 years from now,
I'll be there.
It will be, they won't remember me, thank God.
But they'll remember the message,
they'll remember,
the word.
Like, I was at this conference and there was this,
and I heard
and they
this.
might even say there was this guy.
Oh my God!
Because they won't because they will forget you, and it's okay.
Yeah.
There was this guy who spoke about this. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is they recall, Lord, who is that you? And they will kneel and accept, and that's more than enough. More than enough for what we're sharing here.
But you know what? You said it earlier. You have all the documentation to prove what you've done in your business.
Yes.
Which is secure government contracting for a lot of companies, a sector that I was not aware, but even in my industry, in insurance and financial services, there are contracts that are out there that I can go out there and I can apply for as an insurance broker. So if you're an insurance broker, you want to listen to this podcast.
Yes.
But let me kind of put it how God needs to be in your business. Okay.
Yes.
We talk business. Okay. We're not going to hire somebody unless if I have proof. Well, you're going to show us all this documentation. Okay, you some way, somehow, you show me what you say you can do. But then you said it earlier. Imagine if God would have, when Jesus, He would be able to record everything. Then people would always ask for the proof. And this is where a lot of people struggle with their faith is once you have faith, you don't need the proof. And once you have faith, the proof will come through your own life because He's going to show you how He's going to change your life and how He's going to change your business. But it's tough for somebody to understand at least for me, used to be tough to understand. How am I going to let God into my business when I've been doing things for so long on my own understanding that I got to the point that I need you to help me lead this business, Lord. It can no longer be me, but yet I don't know you. I haven't seen you. Well, where's my proof?
Exactly.
And that is the issue that a lot of people have, is they don't have faith on who God is. Therefore, they keep him away from everything.
Exactly.
But if God will come right now in this moment, and we have proof, after 2025 years, we still talk about him, they still want to have scientific proof or documentation, the best proof that you're going to get is open up your heart, get to know him, and then you'll see how he's going to show you all of the proof that you're looking for. He'll show it to you. He'll give it to you in your own life, in your own testimony, without just seeing everybody else's around you.
Exactly. And you mentioned something about being a Christian in the business world.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I managed a construction management firm. We did inspection, all types, schools, buildings, highways, everything, bridges. I think we did bridges. And then we also did ADA compliance and labor compliance. So I was really in the AEC industry, architectural engineering and construction industry. It was tough because how do you become a Christian when it's really, it's a tough world, right? Especially for a woman, to be honest with you. But what I always, and plus I was the one, I was in the business, running this business. It was tough. But I always, every day, understood who my boss was. I had a female boss, and she's still a friend of mine, even if I left after 21 years, right? She's a Christian too. And so, but when I was managing that company, because that's where I stayed the longest, and that's where I met everybody, and I grew in the government contracting world because of that business. Thankfully, in 21 years, in AEC, we had no insurance claim.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Because I knew who my boss was, and that was the Lord. Every day when you do devotion, the Lord guided you, right?
Yeah.
That's why you have to do your devotion in the morning, because how
yeah.
can you get instructions if it's already the end of the day, right? But of course, if you do your devotion at night, there's no judging there. But what I'm just saying is, how will I get my instruction if it's too late in the day?
Yeah,
and then, of course, at the end of the day, you come out thinking, did I serve the Lord? Right? Like, did I do, or if I messed up, then God help me. I really messed up. I'm sorry, Lord. So you always go to your Father. It's going home.
Yeah.
Lord, so it's like you're home. He's your Father. You talk what you're going to, do. Of course, when you go into the office, you left him, but he's your boss, right?
Yeah.
And so then you come home, you also discuss it. Just like family.
Yeah.
We have families where we talk about everything. They know every secret.
Every single thing.
Everything.
You call your friend, you're telling them everything that's going on with your day.
Exactly. And then, thank God, with God, it doesn't have to be a secret because he knows everything. But the reason why it worked is because I was very concerned that my staff would think, Christian shouldn't have done. My testimony was important. So one time I remember my HR manager came and she said, Ella, I want to ask if you could, and then she stopped and said, you're going to do the right thing, never mind. I was like, what just happened? Then she realized she has to do the right thing. No, you don't even have to teach them. They just see in your lives because there were tough decisions I had to make that would probably make us lose money.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So of course I was also accountable to the owner. So I would just present the information to her. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I messed up. Or this is a battle we can't win. This is not the way we should go. And so you have to trust me that we're not going to go after this. Of course, there's a lot of arguments.
Yeah.
But in the end, she saw that after doing what's wise, she's like, and then, thank God, like 3 months later, something comes up. And then it's like, hell, imagine if we went there, we would have been in this mess. It would have been, apparently the guy was corrupt, so that was not kosher. So it's beautiful when you receive instruction from the Lord and you actually have the strength to follow,
To do it.
It's because you don't
Yes.
always have the strength.
Yes,
Sometimes you get
yes.
fearful, I'm like, but God. You negotiate with God. Of course, thank God He's gracious. So sometimes you get into trouble and He still, he has the grace to
Yeah.
get you out of it. Sometimes, of course, you get, it is what it is.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
fail. But you always have a God who's the Father, who's the boss, who's
Yeah.
everything, and then it works out. So thankfully, even when I left those companies, because I had my own, they are still friends of mine.
That's
And
awesome.
hopefully what they recall is, she shared the gospel. In what? In just making decisions, writing the proposal, don't lie. Of course, a small business, you wing it till you make it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But thankfully, I know enough to write stuff that's very truthful. It may not be the best. Like, I don't have 100 years of experience compared to my competitors.
Okay.
But these 5 years that I've done is more than enough, and we won.
So government contracting. When was the first time that you realized, okay, I'm going to build a business in government contracting?
This is what happened. I got hired by the owner of that company. She already had 1 or 2 contracts.
Okay.
And I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what construction management was. And she actually told
How
me.
long ago was this, Ella?
This is 94.
Okay.
I know. So she said, read a book. I was like a communications graduate. I'm like, I read the construction management book. I'm not ashamed to say so. I read it. Good thing because it was this thick, probably, I'm like, this 6 font. I studied it. And then the difference with that company, starting from a very tiny contract, we just outworked everybody else.
How much was that contract year? Can you speak about it or you can't speak about it? The
I
amount?
don't know if I can. Right
Okay,
now.
let's not get
but
into it.
But it was tiny. In 94,
Okay.
1 person that we were not even doing construction management. We were just staffing. Like, of course, back then, when in construction management, if you said staffing, it's just like taboo.
What type of construction was this company?
The company is construction management, so we had transportation
management.
contracts with Metro,
Okay.
with Metrolink.
Okay.
And of course, then when I came in, I added LUSD, LUCCD I got. So this was just one item. So what I did was, the internet was still, not Google.
Like it is today.
Yeah. But I read everything about it.
Okay.
I proposed on every single thing I could. Looking back at my proposals, I'm like, no wonder I didn't win. I had no idea what they were talking about. But the one person we did so well. Then we got another tiny contract. It's like, oh, who are you? You're a small business. Let me just give you an opportunity. Another woman business gave us an opportunity. She gave us 2 positions. We did so well. That's it. You do so well in very tiny, like, oh, can you give me a flagman? We gave her a flagman.
What's a flagman?
Metrolink, they're trained. So whenever there's construction going on, there's a flagman.
Okay.
But this one is in the rails, in the tracks, and so the flagman has to know when the train is coming, and then it has, if they have to stop and tell that you have to move, or the track.
That was the government contracting position. The flagman was out for a bid.
And so this lady said, I'll give you, because you're in the list of certified people, I'll give you an opportunity. And so we got in. And the 2 opportunities, one was an inspector, those 2 opportunities we did so well. So in the next proposal, now...
So now as a management company, construction management company, you went out there and you bid it for the flagman contracting, you get awarded the contract, and now you have to fulfill the contract. You placed a person to do the flagging.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, that person is being compensated by the management company, but you're billing the government.
Yes. So basically, we paid them well, because we didn't want them to leave and go to our competitor, right?
Right.
So we paid them well. Probably didn't earn a lot of money. And then the inspector also. So we had 1 inspector and 1 flagman. And then we paid them well. We made sure they ended up being the 2 best in the team. Excuse me. And then so after that, we got another contract, Red Line. And so, but what did I write in the proposal? Or actually back then it wasn't even a proposal. We just marketed. It's like, guess what? We have a Metrolink contract. So Metro's like, oh, the primes are like, oh, you have a Metrolink. They didn't know that we only had 2. But we had a Metrolink.
But saying you have a Metrolink contract, not everybody can do that.
Exactly. And then Metro's like, okay, so the Prime's like, oh, you have experience in transportation or transit. So they gave us, so we had another. And so one person did so well. In fact, they took him, and then another, and then another. These people ended up being the best because we made sure to get the best. I asked for so many resumes. Back then, there was no downloading a resume.
So I think floppy disk?
Oh, I think, yeah. Pretty much. And Craigslist, I don't know if it was Craigslist back then. Probably it's a newspaper ad.
Okay.
This is in the 90s, okay? So
for all of you kids watching this podcast,
it was the 90s.
Google it.
And it was expensive too. So if you have this tiny thing, like more than 4 lines, it was expensive. So you try to, so it's a tiny ad. And then the flagman or the inspector liked us because we were very good employer to him. So recommended us, referred. By early 2000, I had maybe more than, maybe 1,000 resumes.
So this whole entire time you're working for that management company? You're an employee?
Yes, okay. I was an employee, but I was really managing the whole thing. And so I literally just grew because we were referred, because we were good employers.
Okay.
We made sure they had all the benefits. We didn't earn much in the first few years because you're giving it all to the employee so you go by volume even, until the volume became good, and then boom, boom, boom. Then I decided I wanted to prime.
So how long did you work for this company helping
21.
21 years.
Yeah, 21 years. Actually, and it wasn't even, straight 21 years, I think 14, and then, So it's funny because when I left, everybody's like, how could you leave they thought I was the president because I was always out there. I said, no, I am not the president. So, because I was the one marketing. So obviously I was the face.
You were the face of the company.
And so it became many. So I decided the best thing is to prime. The best thing is to become prime, because the problem with general contracting too sometimes, and I'm all for it. Yeah, you saw in the speech I had back then. I really advocate for us going government contracting. Sometimes when you go into events, you try to team, you don't get into teams.
Right.
Or you get blessed, you get into teams, but the team doesn't win.
Right.
You get blessed, your team wins, you don't get assigned. Because they're used to assigning the same people. They've had this team and you're the newbie and they don't give you assignments.
Okay.
Or you get assigned, you don't get paid.
Okay.
So here you are, you have the things you have to go through. You get certified, you don't get into teams, you get into teams, you don't win, you get into teams, you win, you don't get assigned. You get assigned, you don't get paid. Or you get paid after a few months, right?
Okay.
You get paid when paid. Thankfully, there's a rule now, especially with Metro and I think LASD, when they pay the prime or the general contractor, you get paid within 7 days.
Okay.
So thankfully. Before, they would just keep it, right? Because construction is, So you're like, it's been 8 months, I haven't been paid,
Wow.
So I decided I wanted to prime. So I'm like,
when you're saying to prime, what does that
I
mean?
will be the prime, not the sub.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make sure that when we get paid, we're the ones who will worry about paying subs.
You administer the funds.
Exactly. Plus, you get the whole thing. Because the problem with being a sub sometimes, again, it's okay to be sub first, especially now. Because, the agencies are very good in indirectly taking care of subs.
Okay.
So we're good there. But during my time back then, you don't get the opportunities because you only get the opportunities that are given you. So if they assume you can only do inspection,
that's all they're going to do.
That's all they're not going to give you scheduling. They're not going to give you, So I decided to prime. And I said, look, these are the things I've done. We got good references. We won. Won LAUSD, LACCD, very, very good agencies to work with. Metro. And then county. It's so funny when I'm looking at the county contract, I'm like, oh my goodness, I told the county I could do inspection when actually school inspection is different from building inspection.
Right.
But I was so aggressive. Like, oh, we have LAC, surely you can give us. We actually won.
Wow.
And so one county department gave us an opportunity, then a second, then a third. So we had 3 county contracts. They were really, really good.
Under FGG?
Still under the
okay.
construction company. So everybody was saying, why don't you just start your own business?
Okay.
But I was very comfortable. And probably God was telling me even at the 9th year or 7th year to start my own. I don't know if I probably disobeyed. Sorry, Lord. I didn't. I was very comfortable just working for another person, but I was very boldly sharing with everybody. Some just really saying, during meetings, because that's the thing. I was also HR, right?
Right.
Because of course in small business you
wear a lot of hats.
So I understood what you're saying, the fear of talking.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, how am I gonna share? So I just shared why I was making decisions. Said, look guys, we have to do right. And they knew I was praying, always right, because I said, I've been praying about this company and I really can't make this boom. And they understood. And of course I invited them to church. Obviously, and they all went during my 50th birthday.
That's awesome.
So now you know me. So that's how it evolved. And so I moved to a staffing firm in between. Thank God I won aerospace staffing. I won one of the biggest small business contracts for that staffing firm. And then I went back to TGC where I worked. And then I was vice president of travel nursing during COVID.
Okay, oh man.
Yeah. So that was the shortest employment. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to start. But even in starting FGG, the idea for me was not really to do CM.
Okay.
Because, I think for a tiny company before with TGC and even, the company I worked for, I always looked ahead.
Okay.
Because in everything that you do, you have to be the best student.
Yes.
Right? You have to know trends. And that's weird because I'm not into social media. And I know I should. Because that's a very powerful tool in sharing. But I'm not there. I'm Generation X. I'm like, what am I going to say? I'm not going to talk about my life, eating, drinking, But you really have to embrace it because that's life now.
Yeah.
Right? That's really how you share the gospel. It can be a very powerful tool. And that's why I'm here, my first podcast. Because now you have to stop fighting it.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing this, I'm like, what's the future of CM? What's the future of general contracting?
Okay.
For the longest, I'm like, I don't like AI. But the truth is, even students are using AI. You have to.
Yeah, you have to.
So So now I'm thinking, how do you use this tool? Because everybody's using it.
Yeah.
And evil people are using it. So we're Christians. We're way better than this.
Yeah.
Why not use it for
good?
And so the idea of FGG really is to have a portal. That's really my dream.
Okay.
Of course, I have a client right now, and I'm very selective in choosing a client to help grow the business. So I've won contracts for this client. I'm winning contracts for this client. So it's good. It's been very good. But, and I still intend to do so. I'm going to be selecting additional clients that I can help grow business. And so, but the idea is for FGG to create a portal that would pretty much, whatever I know in this world about contracting, certification, everything, how to win, writing, reading contracts.
Okay.
It's going to be in that portal so that people, unfortunately, it might eliminate some admin assistants in the CM world, but now, it's going to have calendar.
It's going to happen regardless.
And then now I have to embrace AI. So that portal must have an AI tool to help find opportunities.
Have you looked into what systems to use to create this portal, or you haven't looked into it yet?
I've been trying to, but of course right now it's just in I need
stages.
a very good someone to develop it, but they said AI can actually develop it.
So. No, definitely AI can do that.
Yeah.
There's a platform that we use for our consulting company, for TGC. It's called Go High Level. So on the Go High Level, we can create different rooms to set. It's like a library. Everything that you talked about, okay, you want to learn about contracting, you want to learn about, you put it all in that platform.
Oh, let's do it.
And it's just doing the work, whether you're doing it through a video setting video, whether you're doing it with a PDF. So that is a very good platform that we use because it's an online community. And there you can create it for whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
If you want to learn more about that
Yeah.
one, when we're done with the podcast, I'll put you in touch with the people that
Yeah.
help me with that aspect of it.
You know, answer prayer. You really never know, right? Because I'm also going to put in-demand training there. In-demand, because people don't know insurance.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been telling even Metro or Metrolink before. We always have meet the Primes fair, meet the government, meet the GC fair.
Okay.
I've been telling them or asking them for a meet the insurance fair. Because when I was doing CM, and thankfully you're insurance, you're in insurance, it's hard to find someone who actually understands AEC.
Okay.
They give you something that, even professional liability is not the same. Or they assume we need bond. We don't need bond because we're not general contractors.
Okay.
We're in the industry, but we're not general contractors. And so I would like to even have, maybe that's going to be my grand opening, right? Meet the insurance companies fair. Insurance, not bonding.
Yes.
For professional services, for those doing labor compliance, inspection and stuff. So, and so in the portal, that's going to be there too. Even reading the insurance requirement, they don't know claims made versus, all those. A lot of businesses go into business without understanding
how to operate the business,
even how to insure it.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that I'm going to do.
So that would be awesome. Anything that I can do to help you, let me
Yes.
know. But so you said earlier, you're careful when you're going to partner up with somebody to help them secure contracting. If any other business owner that is watching this podcast right now, they might own a truck to pick up trash or to recycle. They might own a company or an insurance company.
Yes.
What are some of the sectors, people that are running their business, they're working on the business, but yet there's a whole opportunity in government contracting. What are some of the sectors that somebody should pay attention to government contracting?
Thank you for asking. Of course, it's funny because I'm obviously Filipino American.
Right.
Everybody's a nurse or a doctor, medical field, PT, OT. When they look at me like, oh, she's a nurse. No, I'm not. They just assume, right? In fact, one time I was at Kaiser and I was waiting, and the nurse was like taking so long. So I said, when is it going to be my turn? And she said, oh, I thought you were the next shift.
Oh my God.
They just assume Filipinos. I'm like, no, I'm the patient. So it's just one. This is true story.
Oh my
because they
goodness.
just assumed. Oh,
It's like people assume I'm Middle Eastern all the time.
I almost wanted to say. So you know what I'm saying. So they think of general contracting like it's almost like a unicorn. Like, what is it? Oh, you win government contracts. It's simple. Government contracting is just your client is the government.
Okay.
City, MWD, county, And what's good about especially California, I can't speak for others, but California and SoCal alone, everything, you think of a commodity, they buy it.
Okay.
You think of a professional service, they buy it.
Right.
So what do they buy? They buy staffing, they buy purchase, labor compliance services, IT. So what does the government here do for us?
Okay.
So they buy supplies. They buy, in general contracting alone for GCs, fencing, if you know the subcontracting, fencing, everything. They buy everything. And in the comparison that I showed during the time I spoke when I met you, you could see I asked people, okay, so if you're doing business right now with the private, and again, I also work with the private sector. Right. But what I'm saying is, if you're afraid to do business with the government, think about this. I think in the private sector, sometimes I would say everything is not out in public.
Okay.
Unlike in government contracting, opportunities have to be advertised.
Okay.
it has to be advertised. They cannot keep it a secret. Unlike in some, especially aerospace, and it's by invitation only. Opportunities, yeah. So if they really, because they want to be careful, right? They have stockholders, so they want to make sure when they put it out there. Plus, they don't want 1,000 bidders. They want people who are very specialized and who are very good at what they do and specialized. You know, government, they know that small business run this world, run this country, and so it's good for them to provide opportunities to small businesses and give them contracts so they grow, and so tax paying is still okay, right? And of course, nobody's poor, you know, when everybody's cared for and provided for. And so what they do is, one, they advertise all opportunities. So if you'll just hang out and check their purchasing vendor system, you will see the opportunities. So either you're commodities, you have commodities or you have services. It's all there. You will find the duration. So let's say somebody else won the trucking. You know, let's say Port of LA or Port of San Diego. So trucking, the contract is out there too. You can ask for it. Freedom of Information Act. So you can say, you can ask, when was the last RFP or bid for trucking or fencing or insurance? It was, usually they're heavily regulated, which we want. Because they can't do anything crazy. I'm sure there's still favoritism, but they will have to account for it. So if you ask for Freedom of Information Act, they will give you the RFP or the bid. They will give you the bids, and they will give you the reason why they chose one. And what was the bid? Was it 38,000?
That's got to be public too, the bid?
Now, when bidding or when proposing, I always tell people, put a confidential spot. You can't put confidential on your whole proposal. You can't. So what I do is I put a confidential stamp on my money, the cost. Sometimes, most of the time, the agencies, when somebody asks for the Freedom of Information Act, that would affect me, they would say, hey, Ella, or TGC or FGG, guess what? This company asked for this information. We have to release them. In your bid, everything is out there. We have to release. But you put a confidential stamp on the cost. So they don't know. Because that's an easy. So they will just bid $37,000 next time, right? Sometimes agencies will not ask you and they will just still release it because they deemed that cost shouldn't have been confidential. But sometimes they will say, okay, we will. So we will redact it. I have asked for it and I saw some companies did put confidential stamps, so I saw their bids, the whole thing.
Oh, man.
How much is soft engineer? How much is a scientist? How much is a lab technician? How much is an instrument technician? Everything. I saw everything. Their pay rate, markup, bill rate. It's a very good research.
Even though it was confidential?
Because they did
the act?
They did not put a stamp.
Oh.
Yes.
Man, so that puts them at a disadvantage because now somebody else that knows how to find this information, outbid them.
And what you will find out is you do all this study, I'm going to give this amount to this. So you have your own pay rate, right?
Right,
pay schedule. And you realize, okay, my bill rate is 80 for this person. This one got the contract and this company was at 125. But this company is at $60. So you're like, and we all won. And I'm like, man, I was cheap.
I was cheap on that one.
I could have asked for 124.
What are some of the myths that people come to you, for example, when it comes to government contracting? What are some of the myths that business owners, private sector like myself, I don't go out to government contracting?
They think they don't pay. Oh, no. My experience, contracts have been paid 3 days to 28 days.
Okay.
And this is what's good. So they advertise it. They ask the council.
Keep on talking.
Okay. They ask the council, so they select. They will say, okay, you've been selected. Sometimes it's a bench, meaning 5 companies will win this staffing contract or will win this CM. And so it's a bench. So Now you're going to be shortlisted, meaning you will be interviewed, and maybe they will shortlist 10, but only let 5 win. And so after the shortlist interview, which is sometimes 40%, so you proposed, and then you got 10 of you passed, but there's going to be an interview that's 40% of the whole thing. So the proposal's only 60%. So you got shortlisted, you pass the interview. So now the top 5 get the contract.
Okay.
Then they will ask you, do you have insurance? You cannot be presented to the city council or the board of supervisors without insurance.
And I know some contracts, they look into the EMR.
Yes, especially CM. And so now they check, once you have the contract, the insurance, you will sign the contract. This will be presented to the county board or the council, or, City of LA Council or Lawndale, everything. And then the city will have to approve it. So it's all in the agenda of the city.
Right.
So even that alone, if you're just watching, you will know who's winning what.
Who's looking at the contract.
And so the myth is you can't win, you can. Especially if you know your competition, you know how much. Because in the end, the government is still the government. So even if they say, because there's the low bid or the best value. Even if they say best value, they will also, if apples to apples and they see both are okay, they will go for the lower bid, right? Because anyways, it's the same value.
You're gonna save money.
And so, and of course, the references. So they will check the references. So if you have good references, which we got, that's why we won. And then, of course, how'd you call this, EMR? They won't ask for it right now, but you submit that every year. Because
I know one of the companies that we work with, that we do consulting, they were trying to apply for it was for Albert Unified School District, but their EMR, and they weren't structured properly, so they didn't even have the chance to submit the application.
Yeah, schools are very, very strict. Their construction, that's why they have a special inspector for that, and most of the highest paid inspectors are DSA inspectors. Why do you think that when there's a calamity or earthquake, where do we go? School gym.
School, yeah.
It's like prison too, and hospitals.
Yeah.
It's very protected because we want to protect kids. So those are really well built. And so the EMR is very, very important, especially for school construction, because you don't want to be in an earthquake and realizing, oh no, can you imagine the news if the kids, are injured? And so, and then payment. What's good about government is they say, oh, you don't get paid. Probably, I don't understand, honestly, why. Because the government in the RFP, not even in your performance, dictate what they want to see in the invoice. So if you have all the invoice elements in your invoice, contract number, purchase contract number, task order number, amount of the task order, your name, your address, EFT. If it's there, the government, like the county, probably issues 2 million checks a day.
Okay.
Do you really think they're like, oh, I don't like this company. I don't like FGG. I don't like your company. I'm not going to issue a check. No, it's a number that they have to go against cost. And that's another one too. In I don't know, maybe in some private work, they might not even have the money, or something happens.
True.
In the government, with the government, this is how they think of the project. Oh, we want a building.
Okay.
Because this building and safety permit group is no longer enough. There's so much building in Valencia, so we need a bigger permit building. They have to have a budget for that. So first, they also have environmental impact. Oh, are we sure this soil is good?
Right,
I'm oversimplifying.
Right.
So they will have, and then they will design, and somebody else will check the design, and then they will check for ADA compliance, everything, and then they will build. Those are budgeted for. Okay. So once you win, in asking, let's say, the City of Valencia or Santa Clarita to approve this contract, they will have to already account for which costing number amount they will take the money from.
Okay.
So when you actually perform and you invoice monthly, and they even have a deadline. So let's say you perform January 1, especially in staffing or in CM, January 1 to 31, you have to submit your invoice by the 11th or the 10th.
Okay.
Because this is a well-oiled machine. You don't want to be invoicing for January in July.
In July.
And so after that, so when they see that your invoice is complete, who do you think they'll, that's
They'll
why
come back to
that's
them
why we're the
again,
favorites, because I'm going to say something that worked for me now, it's going to work for everybody. Every time I would present the companies I work for or myself, we are the no drama, no maintenance vendor.
For the government. So the less headaches for the government, the more chances you get to win the
Exactly.
contracts because they're easy to work with.
When they see, because just like us, if we have a vendor that's just really, you ask them, we're going to have a party. Can you make sure that when I get there at 3 o'clock, everything's all set? You see everything set, napkin, everything. The stations are ready.
You don't have to worry about doing the work that they're already being contracted for.
That's exactly. So no insurance. I just tell them, no insurance claim in 21 years. What do you think?
Yeah. Wow.
So the myth of not getting paid, I will not dispel whatever others have experienced. But all I can tell you is that in 30 years, we always got paid.
Okay.
The government is the best in paying. You don't have to sue them, honestly. You just wait. Have the good invoice, perfect, no error. And actually, fiscal year-end for them is June 30. They even say, the deadline is not July 10. The deadline is July 2.
July 2.
Because they have to account for the year. They have to spend the money that's already been accounted for. And so they actually have to pay you sooner.
So obviously this to you is like looking at the back of your hand. You understand that. To me, it's, man, there's a lot of process.
Yes,
I need to run my company. I need to do all these things. Is that where FGG comes into play? Do you help the company? Like, let's just say, you know what, Tony, there's a couple of contracts that are out there I think Leto Financial could win. Let's just say, you know what, Ella, I'm interested. I know the work needs to get done, but I don't know all the work that takes to negotiate and to do all these things with the government. Maybe it's very simple to you, going into the portal, do all these things. But to me, it's like, okay, I need to learn that. And then on top of that, I need to fulfill the contract and I got to run the business. How does FGG come into play?
Yeah.
Do you help this? If you're going to partner up with the company, do you help them take care of all of the negotiations with the government to send the invoices for them? By you being the primary, now you collect and then you send us the payment. How does FGG operate?
Yeah. The current company, the current client that I have, only because I used to manage that company too, so I know their capacity and they have already won awards, right? So I know that they know how to deliver.
Okay.
So my role with them is really business development.
Okay.
So technically, I'm just in charge of the business development part, wherein I look for contracts for them. I do networking. So it's a lot. I do networking and I do regular reporting every Friday. And so I'm their business development officer there. I write the proposals for them. It's staffing, right? And then if there's an interview, I go to the interview. But delivery, I don't do. Now, since my background also outside of HR, again, all hats, right, is recruitment. I've been recruiting since I graduated from college a long time ago, even before 91. So I know positions. I understand what logistics manager would do versus commissioning person versus all these positions. All these years of understanding resumes and having seen thousands of resumes, and even I myself recruited over 500 people, right, in my lifetime. And that's not a lot for other people, but that's a lot.
That's
for
500 people.
That's a lot
500
of people. Yeah, so I understand what inspection is, labor compliance, all those things in the industry, right? And aerospace staffing. So we also have AQMD contracts. So I understand what the instrument technicians do. And that's what you should do. You have to understand these things. You have to learn, not just I already won, I overstudy, I overlearn everything. Because I want to know what these people do. So at least mentally, I also know what to tell the insurance person. Of course, with the insurance, we give them the job description. I make sure everybody's equipped. Yeah, that's a big thing. I make sure everybody. So my client, I equip them. I tell them about the insurance. And so with this client, because I know I already was there, so delivery, and they have a very, very national account manager who before was under me, and now she's way better than me. So I don't have a problem with delivery. I do help with the recruiting with regards to their recruiters ask me, Ella, is this the right resume? Well, I want this contract that I just want for them to be successful, so I help them. I help them. I'm like, no. This is a good resume for, let's say, another SCAG. But for, let's say, AQMD or for Metro, you have to look for this. So that's a lot of training. Now, if I don't know you, the company, I know you don't know how to deliver it. You're totally newbie in government contracting. I can help with also delivery. But my idea is, hopefully, I just help you for 1 year. After that, you have to learn. Technically, I could make myself so important, right? That they would just depend on me, that if I leave, they die. Narcissism can really be a big thing. But I'm not like that. I want to make sure that you grow, because there's nothing more beautiful than you become the best too.
Absolutely.
So, no, the idea is, if I'm not just going to be a business development person, but also project delivery or contract delivery person, I can help. But I will literally teach you. I will even teach you business development, because I think it'll be good if max, even in business development, I'll stay with you 1-3 years. Because I want you to be able to do it yourself. Because again, the idea of GG in the end is the portal, right? So hopefully, by the time I get the portal in, I have already taught you how, then the portal will just be like muscle memory for you, because I've already told you how to maneuver and manage this thing. But otherwise, while the portal is still being set up and being, developed and created, then I'm going to help you physically. I'll be networking. But I'll also teach you what I'm doing. So even now, when I report to them, I tell them who I talk to and who they should follow up, just in case. I always have a just in case thing wherein, just in case I die. My staff didn't like it, but I always say, just in case I die, I'm sending you this proposal. Please submit it, even if I'm in the hospital, because I worked so hard in this proposal. It's not my ownership. This proposal that I did is theirs, their company information. Because I know for consultants, it's very tempting to feel so like, oh, I want them to die without me. No. That's not service.
All plans will fail for the lack of counsel, but with the advice of many, they succeed.
Exactly.
That's what a consultant is.
You got paid with the information of the company.
Yes, exactly.
To write the stuff about the company.
Exactly.
And so every night I give them, like, this is draft 7, at least the person, if they're willing. Some are not willing, like, I'll just do it when you're done. Because I don't want to be bothered. This is draft 7. I'm only lacking this. If anything happens to me, just finish this part. You're off.
So in FGG, how do you establish FGG?
2021.
2021. And for the FGG's operations, are you going out there actively seeking for new clients to write the contracts with, to work with? Obviously, you're being in the game for a long time. People are asking. I will be interested for you to help me. And now, once you get the marketing side, now who compensates you? You get compensated through the contract, or is there an upfront fee? Now, who's helping you with all of the extra work, the administrative work that it comes to? How are the operations?
I'll be honest with you. This is how business works. I'm sure that. Sorry for interrupting. I hope when I started FGG, my idea was I was gonna go. It's funny because I've been in here for so long. But I never hired a proposal writer. So I thought, okay, I would go. Yeah, I was the in-house proposal writer from scratch, like from blank. And so I thought I would, aside from the portal, because the portal was always the thing for FGG.
Right.
The idea was I would be a proposal writer for people, and I would help them with extra, like I would help them with certification, So basically what I'm doing now for this client of mine, but just in a shorter term, right? I'm not the business development department, basically.
Right.
But what I found out is a lot of people want to be in government contracting, but they're not ready. Because this is the difference between government contract. I've forgotten a lot about private, because private, they just tell you, it's easy. Government contracting, because they're heavily regulated, there's a lot of paperwork. But
Okay.
please, once you get one, figure out one, you're fine for the rest.
Okay.
So you read a lot of RFPs, you read a lot of contracts. But, and so a lot of people who wanted my services at the beginning, my difficulty was they thought they could just tell me, "Oh, win it for me, make me a millionaire." That's
Right? Just like that. So
yeah.
simple.
You made seriously. Some people have been very aggressive.
Oh my God.
And said, "You've made people millionaire. Why don't you make me a millionaire?"
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, that's not what I expected.
Right. Right.
They literally want to be, like, make me a millionaire. Literally that line. It
Oh,
was.
wow.
I'm a consultant with
Yeah.
so I didn't expect that kind of. So I'm like, okay. And then when I ask for information, because I have this proprietary sheet, like
Okay.
intake sheet. If you have all this information, it's easy for me to propose because basically, what's your corporate number?
Right.
What's your, basic address, tax ID number, because it's part of the.
Right.
They don't even have them. So I'm like, okay, suppose I help you. I'll write a proposal for you. And I just ask for this, using my intake forms. How much are you willing to pay me a flat fee? Or are you
percentage of the contract.
Or a percentage but the problem is, let's say the percentage is just 5,000. I mean, and then I spent 50 hours, especially the first, because people are not ready.
Right.
They don't have, and I'm like, how have you been doing this? They don't have their information. They don't have their taxes. That's big for government contracting. You have to have all your income, your 1040s and 1120s, everything. Because the government is regulated. It's taxpayers' money. So they have to make sure you're a good person to work with.
Right.
Or else they'll be in the news. Oh, did you give it to your cousin? So they have to make sure that they selected you because you're qualified and you're not a
Cousin
sleazy
of
person.
Yeah, no, that makes
cousin
sense.
of the
That makes
cousin
sense. That makes sense.
or the in-law. So you have to be ready with this information that you actually filed your taxes and you have everything in order, or at least extension.
So what if a company has a payment plan to pay their taxes back? Would that be against them, or that is
I don't think, as long as you file, I think.
Okay.
Because that has never been, but I don't think so. I think that's
Okay,
fine. As
okay.
long as you file, or if you haven't filed, you have an extension.
Right.
I don't think the payment plan. Now, just like in staffing, there are positions that they will ask you for finances because you don't want to be blackmailed. Let's say,
Right.
and then you're easily blackmailed. So, then there are positions. So also, I'm sure there are contracts wherein they will ask you to make sure you're okay.
Okay.
The government is not going to be you're going to be able to perform.
Okay.
So those are the things that I'm like, okay. So now I've just for me it's hard to say it, but for me I'm better if it's a retention thing, just like what I'm doing for this client, because at least this is a relationship, we're growing something,
Right.
and hopefully in a year you can go on your own.
Okay.
Right? If you want 3 months, then I will tell you everything I can do for you in 3 months to get you ready, especially with the Olympics. And that's what I've been. Everybody's talking about the Olympics. Can you imagine how many contracts?
So how many Olympics are next year, right?
2028.
2029. Look at my
But no,
clock.
next year is World Cup.
World Cup next year, and it's gonna be here also in California.
So far,
What contracts have already been published that are out there?
since World Cup is different,
Okay.
but it's next year and it's SoFi, I have not seen what they would do because I think that's more private-ish, unlike Olympics.
Okay, managed by the
City
FIFA.
of LA. City of
Okay.
LA. That's City of LA. Right now, because I've been waiting for this, because can you imagine how many? Okay, what will they need? Staff
Okay.
and volunteers.
Right.
So bodies, they call it bodies. They need printing
Posters
companies,
and stuff like
posters,
that.
even if in
Okay,
the social
okay.
media, whatever apps you can develop for the Olympics. Let's say you have a Chinese restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And just remember, even if City of LA, it's City of LA, it's really Southern California or LA County.
Yeah.
Because SoFi is in Inglewood.
Yes.
But not gymnastics, swimming is going to be there.
Okay.
Diagonally across is the Clippers Arena, Intuit.
Okay, Intuit, yes.
Basketball is going to be there.
Yes.
So it's City of LA, but it's really County of LA.
Okay.
And there's another one, I think motocross, I can't remember. It's in Kansas. I forgot. See, just one. So there's Carson.
So like, sorry to interrupt you, being here in Riverside, there's not a lot that Riverside is getting their hands inside the LA County's Olympics?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because this is, actually, I stand correct. It's not County of LA. It's almost like a California thing.
Okay.
So there's, okay, let's put it this way. When Metro does, and I love Metro, they're so business friendly. When they do transit, a lot of the tolling and transit, they come from Europe.
Okay.
And so it's frustrating for them, I think, that they have to give businesses to European companies. I'm sorry, I love the European.
Yes, no, yes.
But
yes.
what I'm saying is, when it would be nice if there's local. So
Yes.
they have the ordinance wherein at least the workforce will be from LA.
Okay.
Okay. Boston has a very good train system. They hire a lot from there, or Massachusetts, and so. But it will be good to have some local presence.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, you ask about Riverside. LA can't handle the whole thing.
Right.
So Riverside companies, Orange, actually the 5 counties, even Ventura.
Okay.
You have a very strong chance because at least you're local.
Yes.
LA won't be so afraid that, oh my goodness, it's coming from
Riverside.
New York.
Okay.
You know, you should be able to get a lot of contracts because it's an easy drive.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when I thought it was 75 miles, it's only 75 miles. I was surprised for only 60 miles or something from downtown. So you are so close that you can do a lot of businesses there. Catering, it's an easy thing, you know. Catering, do you want to sell donuts? Check the concessions.
And there's
there.
contracts like that?
Because you have to feed this. And just remember, too, Olympians need a lot of carbs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think, California is so healthy, Olympians need their carbs. don't kill them. You know, they need their sugar. You know, so whatever you're selling, imagine what an and just remember too, unlike that's why only LA actually make money during the Olympics. The only, I think, Olympic host that ever made money was LA because we don't have to build. Like Beijing had to build their own setup. And then after that, what next, right?
Yeah.
Here, UCLA will be the Olympic Village.
Okay.
So
it's already there.
It's already there. All you have to...
So probably UCLA is applying for government contracts to host all these athletes in there.
You want to go over during this time? Airbnb?
Yeah.
Everything, because you're going to have a lot. Now, we're talking about Olympics, but just remember, World Cup, 40 days or 40 countries.
Something like that, yeah.
Next year. We have, of course, wrestling now. LPGA will be here. All-Star, NBA All-Star.
Okay.
And the Super Bowl again. So between now and the 2028, we're talking about just those major stuff. But every year, if you're going to go to LA Sports and Entertainment, LACE or LASEC, they have maybe 100 to 300 events a year.
Okay.
Of every event. Because now you're thinking Olympics, but we have probably 300 concerts a year.
Oh, yeah.
In downtown alone, right? Now you go Carson and even Riverside, why not connect?
Yeah.
Long Beach was the first to release, to have a networking event about the Olympics that we attended. Because now what LA Olympic Committee is doing is checking all the vendors that submitted, showing interest. So what they did was release an email saying, "Are you interested in working with us? What are your NICS code, NAICS?"
Okay.
Right? As an insurance company, you know NICS,
yes.
but a lot of people don't know.
Don't know what the NAICS code is.
So check NAICS, meaning you know what your industry is, and that's your insurance code, basically, almost, right?
Correct.
What's your NICS code? And so we listed it. The next meeting, they said, "Okay, people, you're doing catering? Why did you check staffing, entertainment, events? They check. Please be exact because we're going to release the bids soon. And we don't want to be releasing janitorial.
Okay.
Because of course these things have to be cleaned, right?
Yes.
To somebody who's doing catering.
Yes.
So they asked us to be, if you're interested, and no, you're not late. It's, so contact LA Olympic Committee, LA 28, that's how they call it.
Okay.
Contact them and say, how can I be a vendor? I want to receive a bid for this. You can just imagine, what do they need? They need food, uniforms, cleaning, everything, events, flyers, and everything, logistics. So insurance, of course. So I'm sure they're going to offer insurance to the countries or
True.
Yeah, auto insurance, whatever insurance, and that's why now.
But those are, wouldn't that be mostly handled privately by the guest that's coming over? Or why would that be funded by the government?
Well, if you can't get the contract through LA 28, why not create your own website that connects with LA 28, link with them to say, look, I offer insurance, auto insurance, whatever insurance, accidental, global insurance.
Yes.
Why not? I don't know how insurance, but what I'm saying is you don't have to actually have a contract with them. You just have to
find a way to market what you can do in a way
Piggyback.
that is beneficial.
Right. You want to insure Airbnb or whatever. Let's say you want to offer insurance for those who want to not necessarily go through Airbnb. I'm just trying to.
Yes.
And then you want to offer. Some people would want to offer their homes during this time. What is the insurance that they're gonna have during that time? Is this so you can even have just an event. Insurance event for the Olympics.
Yes. And they promote you through their website or you'll be the sponsor. Okay. So I got to connect with that. There's so many other opportunities that, like I said, this to me, it's a whole different world because I've been busy on what I've been doing.
And don't miss it because, and don't feel bad if you miss something, to be honest with you. California has a lot of money. Even if they say, we're not going to have this, we're not going to have this. Again, if we were a country, we would be fourth, right? If county would have been 16th, the county of Los Angeles. Riverside, I don't know, but can you imagine? We have a lot of money compared to other countries.
Yeah, other countries, yeah.
Maybe Riverside can connect with LA County to say, look, we have this parade or whatever at this point, or we want to have this. Connect.
Have you ever been, obviously, I know you said you love working with Metro. Have you ever had opportunities to work within the Riverside County?
Yes. RCTC.
Oh,
Riverside,
yes.
Riverside
for
Transportation.
Riverside,
And also, so we had, I think it's the SR91. We were a sub. And then we also received a contract from for inspection. And again, FGG is fairly new, okay? But obviously that's what I carry. That's the proposal I want. And labor compliance.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing networking events since 94, 40, probably a year. And yeah, I've been to Riverside so many times, San Bernardino.
So if there's a company out there that wants to ask you questions, counseling, you're available to them. Do you charge a counseling fee because obviously your time is valuable. Actually, you can't just sit down and give free consultation all the time because you'll be there all day.
Yes, that's what's happening actually because I have been in the speaking circuit since I think 2006.
Okay.
But back then I was only doing it like every 3 years or what. Since 22, I've been into several, but only because I'm still starting. So a lot of this are, just free and just going on, just really building my networking team and networking world for FGG this time.
Yeah.
Not for the three companies I work for.
Correct.
But soon I will be, again, because of the portal that I'm creating, and now the speaking engagements that I'll be assigned to or asked to do after this. So right now I'm still very generous, let's put it that way, with the calls, but I'm setting up a system that will account for that. But for now, I'm just really building my brand
Okay.
in order for them to know that, yes, I can be a speaker with regards to all these government contracting and this, but what I bring is really a lot.
Yeah.
Because again, I can write proposals, and I have written a lot of proposals. I've seen proposals I had no business. I'm like, what is this? But in the end, proposal is just this: answer the question.
Okay.
I don't have fancy proposals, to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of graphs and stuff, but I do answer the questions.
Are you leveraging ChatGPT for proposal writing?
Okay. When I first learned, because I have a degree in communication,
Okay.
of course, I'm kind of snobby with regards to that, because I was like, when I first tested it, I was like, this is what I wrote in college when I had no idea what to do. A lot of adjectives, a lot of like, our company is like, no, nothing, because this ChatGPT doesn't know you. It just has a lot of adjectives like a big entrepreneur, blah, 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 The thing with somebody with my experience, I can actually tell them who you are with what you've done and actual words.
Okay.
But because the world is going so fast,
Yes.
you can't dismiss it. So just like what I said in the portal, I will have to include that.
Yeah.
In proposal writing, because of my background, I still would be, like iffy. Sorry for somebody with words. But I will have to use it because that's how people learn now. There's no time.
Yeah.
So I will have to find a way to assist people in using AI in a manner that would bridge the gap.
What I've noticed with ChatGPT, it takes time for it to get to know you. So the more descriptive you are on what you need or what the proposal is going to be to avoid all those adjectives is the prompt, the initial prompt on how much information you give it about the company. It's all this pre-information that you fill it up with, that then later on it'll be easier for it to start to generate different proposals or different suggestions with better wording. Exactly. That you can always come back and you teach them how you think.
The intake form that I was saying.
Exactly. It comes down to that, the initial prompt. I just preset it.
That's exactly what I do, like intake, right? Are you ready? And that's
and
exactly
then you feed it into ChatGPT. So the ChatGPT makes it a lot easier for you.
And I will have to teach ChatGPT to read it the way my intake form reads. So I guess, for lack of a better term, I have to AI my intake.
You just input it in there. Input your form into it.
Because it has to know. And not just that. Well, I always believe in human touch, right?
Yes.
But yeah.
It's just leveraging.
Because
I've learned to leverage it a lot here with Enlightened Financial and TG Consulting, because I've understood now how to generate the initial prompt.
Yeah, and plus, you can do more. That's why I actually, just last Friday, my client asked me that, and I said, yeah, I have to. I'm not going to fight it, because this is how the world will think now.
Yeah.
You're going to be up against robots.
Oh, yeah.
You have to create your robot in a way that it's the best among the best. Yes. Like, if before I was trying to be the best among CM, AEC industry, now I have to be the best among CM, staffing, in this industry, general contracting, vendor, with using AI. So yes, actually just last Friday, I'm like, I have to. You have to. Just like before when we were young, it's like, LPs, right? And then the cassette, and then CDs. I like the cassette because I have more control.
Yeah.
No, now it's AI.
How about, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about your author. You're writing books, you're publishing.
Yes.
How did that came along? How long has that been?
Okay, I have always loved reading. That's how I think you become a good writer if you're a very good reader. I started reading when I was 3. And so I read books, a lot of books since I was young. And my mom always told me, when you read, you have to read. Don't be a snob. Don't read like just a documentary or the encyclopedia. And we did. My 3 brothers and my sister just read. We had an encyclopedia, the whole thing too, right?
God. So that's awesome.
We would compete. It's like, but do you know about hair follicles?
Oh my God.
We didn't have Google. So my brothers and I, we would compete. But we read everything. And so because of, I didn't know how to write till college. Because in grade school, I could speak. In high school, I was president of whatever, everything. So you could get by. Then in college, I went to this university where everybody was salutatorian, valedictorian.
Okay.
So I couldn't wing it. So I'm like,
Couldn't wing it.
everybody's smart here. I had to be smart in everything. And I learned, that's where I learned. University of the Philippines, Manila, I learned writing.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, this is good. Because everything that I know about the authors that were really compelling.
Okay.
I started writing, and so I became a writer. Proposal, grants.
Okay.
Then I realized this is so vanilla. It's so technical, right? Then my niece gave birth to Samuel.
Okay.
Oh, so I became a grand aunt, a grandmother.
Okay.
I always had stories about even my niece when she was born, and my nephew, and my other nieces. The love that you have for these kids. So they were teething, everything. It's just like the best thing that ever. I'm single, okay?
Okay.
But I think I'm the best aunt and now the best grandaunt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm claiming that now. Sorry,
course.
people. And so the love for that softened you. I mean, I was always probably soft-hearted, but this is different, you know.
Okay.
All of a sudden, there's just so much love that you just never experienced in your life. And so I started writing funny things about how they were growing up. And I started with socks.
Okay.
Where the socks go, especially when I was folding those tiny. You don't fold tiny socks. It's like, how are you gonna fold this? But they have to stay together. And
Some way, somehow.
they're always missing. And then there's this kid. It's like, you're only 3 months. How on earth can you lose a sock?
Lose a sock.
What
Oh
are
my
you
God.
doing?
I'm
And so,
listening.
of course, plus OCD. I'm like, why? I mean, it's already in the net. How you can? So I started writing socks, where the socks go. And so I just released it under a different name, Leah Monday,
Okay.
where the socks go. And I had my first book fair last month in
Where
Santa
at?
Clarita.
In Santa Clarita?
The
Oh,
College of the
congratulations.
Canyons.
How was that experience?
Oh, it was so good.
From bids to books.
Oh, it's different because with bids, you're waiting to win. It's, you're gonna, a lot of livelihood is
Right,
at stake, right?
right.
You have to win it again so that your
Yeah.
inspectors, your staff, your software engineers will have another contract for the next 5 to 10 years. But books, you want kids to smile
Okay.
and laugh, the kids that you love seeing. And so, and I love kids, right? I served at the church's children's church. So,
Okay.
so I'm like, will they laugh? I really want them. I want them to learn. I
Right,
want them
right.
to have the childhood I had, wherein I didn't have an iPad. I didn't have.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
They read books. You felt the books. You really, of course, there's Kindle too, right?
Yes.
So I self-published this book. I now have 18 copyrighted books aside from this.
Okay.
But there's going to be 60 because the 60 will be 6 series. I've
Okay.
written 5 more, waiting for copyright, and I have drafts for 3, 4 more, maybe 5.
Wow.
But these are stories that I hope, and I like rhymes. So these are books that rhyme because it's harder. It's like you're rapping.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I have so much respect for rappers because
It's not
their
easy.
vocabulary is crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm like, I like the writers where they took time to make it rhyme. And I don't want to be repetitive too, so I have to look for words that I'm
Right.
not just making up. And I didn't AI my books.
No? There you go.
I actually tried not to read any book. I just did it from memory
Okay.
of the books I read when I was young. And so I wrote, so I didn't copy. I didn't want to
Okay.
copy even, accidentally.
Right.
I'm writing the books and I wrote the books without really. Now, I would parse through the illustration just to see, but I realized my books are really different. So I really hope so. Where I have a sock series, I have My Sister Made Me Mighty. It's really God who made me mighty.
My sister made
Yeah,
me mighty.
yeah. That's the first book of a book about my teacher made me smart,
Okay.
and then my God made me me.
Okay.
So I already have written 8 of 13 books for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's the next series.
So how long have you been writing before you went actually public?
21. Actually, just maybe after I quit my regular
Your
job
regular job.
to start this, I could finally release that, especially since Samuel was born in 2020.
Okay.
COVID. You know, unlike others who had, you know, I think that's when I was writing, because I was like, oh, you know, I had it in my mind. I had whole stories in my mind, and so I have this nothing to watch, nothing to eat, but of course, nothing is impossible. Is the end.
True.
With God, nothing is impossible.
Yes.
So it's really about God. But everything, so it's about socks. That's why I was found by God. I was lost and found. And that's why even my logo is a sheep with a F is a staff.
Okay.
Yeah, so Found Publishing.
How'd you came to know Jesus?
Actually, it's funny. My mom was seeking for 2 years, and then my sister started dating this Christian, who's now the pastor.
Okay.
And after 2 years of my mom seeking, her best friend was a Christian, but she was like, she didn't really want to let go of her religion. So her best friend was trying to be careful in leading her to the Lord, without thinking that you just want me out of my religion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then my brother-in-law now shared to my sister. My sister accepted. My sister told my mom. They went to the church, and my mom's like, "Oh, this is the one I'm looking for." And then she, being a very strong woman, a very scary woman, very loving but scary woman, said, "Okay, we're all gonna go." Of course, we're all scared. And, you know, the siblings said, I was the last to accept.
Wow.
Yeah, my brothers accepted. My mom's 12 siblings accepted, at least most of them. But of course, me. Until she said, I felt pressure. She realized everybody was arguing with me.
Okay.
Because they were all high in the Lord. Like, they were like, oh, yeah. And I was like fighting. Like, what is this? All this almost 70 people just arguing with me. And, you know, I'm being very strong-willed.
Right.
It's like, you're not going to make me lose my religion. It was when actually the love of my mom, she stopped. She said, stop. Everybody stop. Don't pressure her. Anak, child, you're okay. You're okay. I was shocked. This my mom was scary who make people do things, okay?
Right.
Do it right. She just said, no, it's okay. Anak, child, you don't have to attend Bible study. You're okay. Strong-willed, very obedient, strong-willed woman. A child, me, 16 years old. I was like, what's this? Who's this woman? Why
That's
did
how
she?
you never saw.
Yeah. It's like, this is love. Guess what? I attended the next Bible study and I accepted.
Wow.
It was when she let go and said, it's okay. You're fine. I knew that was love. It's like, and so I accepted April 15, 1986.
Wow.
I was 16.
Wow.
And of course, I was from an all-girls school, Catholic school in the Philippines. I almost got kicked out because I was reading a different Bible, they said, not Deuterocanonical.
Okay.
Fourth year high school, that's when I became born again. Summer before my last year in high school. But after that, I was like, I realized, oh, it's okay. If I got kicked out, I was quite, I was crying because I grew up there, kindergarten to, everybody's my neighbor. But in the end, you realize it's okay. They kept me in the end because they grew up with me. I mean, I grew up with them.
Right.
College, I went to a how'd you call this? This time, University of the Philippines, not Catholic school or what. You feel free because you could say whatever.
You can say whatever you want
because
to say.
UP is like Harvard / Berkeley.
Okay.
And so whatever. So
would you say the Catholic education growing up and then going into public education, how would you see the differences between growing up with the religion in school and without it?
It was different because technically, back then when there was a revival, there were like 90% were Catholics and I think 10% were Muslims, right, in the Philippines. Then 10% became born again in the 80s. That's when we had a revival, right? So all of a sudden, everybody's born again. So you didn't feel alone.
What caused the revival? Do you remember? Was there something specifically?
I really don't know because I think it happened 83 and I became born again 86.
Okay.
I just knew everybody was getting saved. Everybody was like, we would attend Tuesday services, Thursday services, Fridays, and then my mom decided we would go to the province every weekend to go to my grandfather and share the gospel with some of her siblings still there. So it was just like everything was just wonderful. You just want to keep sharing.
Right.
And so when I went to the University of the Philippines, it's good because now you can speak. You can speak freely. That's the thing about it. Unlike when, of course, I was in high school, grade school, Catholic church. Of course, that's the way they wanted to expel me. But of course, I'm friends with them. Before I came here, I went there, talked to the nuns, hugged them, and I said, it's okay. I still love them. I grew up with them.
Right.
So, and they know, oh, she's still born again. Yeah, she's still born again at the age of 50 plus something. She's still born again. That wasn't a fad, And so, but it helped that everybody in our family was a Christian.
Right.
I can't imagine growing up in a non-Christian setting, because then how? You're just, the Lord opened His world to you. Amen. Your eyes are opened, scales are gone,
Amen.
And you're seeing hope, you're seeing healing. Even when you feel like you're not being healed, you just know where you're going when you die.
Yeah.
And so, because the thing is, the power of death, power of danger, power of that against people who don't know the Lord is strong.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people go about their ways in this world just avoiding those things.
Yeah.
Spending a lot of money to avoid that. When you're in the Lord, it doesn't mean you're not going to be in danger. But there's a lot of wisdom we're in, because you're going to do whatever He's telling you. You're going to be led out of it.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the times. Now, of course, accidents might happen, just like my mom died in an accident. But there was hope, because you knew that you're not grieving because you don't know where she's going. She's going to heaven.
Yeah.
It's a celebration. Yes. You're grieving because you're going to miss her.
Exactly.
But otherwise, because when my parents died at the age of 50, 17 months apart, I almost fell apart, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have my parents anymore. But knowing they're in heaven, I knew it was being selfish on my part. I mean, they already gave me education.
Right.
I was already okay. I was already working. So I'm just really going to miss them, But now I know, I've always known they're in heaven, so.
Yeah.
They're
it's
happy.
just, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah.
When my dad passed away 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago of cancer, it came to the moment that when he took his last breath, we were all in the house, and then next to him in the bedroom, and he opened up his eyes one more time. And when he took that last breath, I looked at him and said, you can go. When he let go of his body, and I saw his body becoming lifeless, the first words that came out of my mouth were, thank you, God. It's understanding that it's not death, it's just transitioning into the next period of life. And that is what me having my faith, and I'm bypassing a lot of what I went through before my dad passed away.
Yes.
But we're going to miss them. But when we look at it from being in that position, when it's our turn to have to leave, it's understanding that we have to be okay and accept that everything that we went through in this life, we lived it for Him.
Exactly.
Because it's hard for us to see them go, but it's also hard for them to have to accept that it's their time to go.
Exactly.
Like in the case with your mom, it was a tragic accident.
Yes.
God had her ready to go at that moment. And my dad too is like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I remember asking my dad, are you ready? I'm like, not yet. I still have a little bit more. And it took another 2 weeks before he actually left. But it's understanding that it's not death. And yes, we're going to miss them. But time does make it better.
Yes.
God fills up that, if you have God, He'll fill up that emptiness with so much love.
Yes.
Because once He took my dad, I said, you know what? I'm so much at peace because now I have you, God, my Father. You are in my life now.
Amen.
And I'm so grateful that you gave me an earthly father.
Yes.
Who was there for me when I needed him, who raised me, who taught me how to be a better man.
Yes.
But it was ultimately you, God, who allowed me to understand I am your father. You are here. You didn't lose your dad. You didn't lose your mom. You gained me. But a lot of people don't understand that. because they're so, like you said, we're blinded. And we're not ready for that because we fear to lose our parents. Yes. To me right now, my 7-year-old daughter, she talks to me, like, I miss Chato, I miss my grandpa. Yes. I'm like, I wish he was still here. I understand you. But he's better than what we are today. And I talk to them about him. Like, one of my biggest asks to God right now is like, give me time for when you take me, they have their life ready. They have their own family. They have their own kids, so that it'll be easier for them to accept that now I'm gone. But the best part is now you are there.
Amen.
Like, you need to accept that when Jesus calls me, you're not going to be alone, because he's going to be there with you. So it's what we don't teach our kids.
Yeah.
It's like what really is not just religion, it's a relationship
Yes.
with our Father.
And actually, it's like they finally got the prize,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if they were here during this time, during COVID, I would have been very concerned about them, because by then they would be in their 70s and you're going to take care of them. It would have been really crazy.
Yeah.
When actually they're in a better place, like they're already face to face with God.
Yeah.
It's like the prize we're always waiting for is to finally see the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
When you said it's release, it was hard for me. It took me 6 years. I was in a bad place. And what's funny is I was already a Christian. When my dad died, I was 28, but my mom was still alive.
Okay.
Then she died when I was 30.
Okay.
It was only because I was single and everybody was married, and I'm always happy single, but they were my life, right? So I had God, right. But my mom and my dad, they were just, I think the best parents on earth that ever lived.
Yeah.
Scary. My mom was very scary. My dad was sweet. But then after 6 years, and I realized, okay, I'm fine. The grieving's done. Because I was angry for 6 years because the accident, my mom, it was, the driver who killed the whole jeepney. He was still, there was politics there, and he was driving still. And I'm like, how many will you kill? It was not okay. But after that, I'm like, okay, I'm fine now. It took me 6 years to release the anger, the grief. Again, not because I didn't know they were going to heaven, but they left me, right? The daily calls. Yeah, I was calling my mom every day from America to the Philippines. And back then, we paid 25 cents per minute.
Oh, my goodness.
That was an expensive call. I had $800 in phone bills a month.
My God, wow.
Yes. But that's how close we were. So it is what it is, right? And my dad was supposed to come like 3 months before, 3 months later, but then he died 3 months prior. So he was supposed to visit us in America. So those are the things that, but then I realized instead of having parents in between, now I can say that the barrier is gone. I have God as directly my father.
You're right, exactly.
Because honestly, it was divided. My attention, my love was divided because I had a physical father. I'm not saying we should lose our parents, but in my case, as a single person, I was really, in fact, my mom said, Anak, my child, I know when you pray and you tell mom to pray, I know you think you're good. Like, she already prayed. She's a very good Christian, a giant. I feel like I've already prayed to God. Like, Mom, can you pray for this? And then I'm off. Anak, no, you should have your own. Go directly to God. She knew she was a barrier to me. She's like, no, when you ask someone to pray, go straight to God in your devotion. Have a relationship with Him. Don't think that just because you told mom, you're good. Because that's such a...
And to kind of back up what you're saying is, 9 months before my dad passed away, 9 months before my dad was diagnosed with cancer, is when I started to feel his calling from Jesus to come and get close to Him, because something big was going to happen. To the point that at that point, I wasn't even going to church. I didn't believe in going to church. I would always say I believe in God, but I really didn't believe in God. And then I started to feel, I don't know where, this urge to get to know who Jesus was. And that's when He led me to the point. It's like, well, if you don't want to go to a church, buy a Bible. Get your first Bible.
Oh, wow.
You want to get to know me?
How did you accept the Lord?
So that was the initial process of me trying to build a relationship with them. I had already been fighting with the thought of going to church because I didn't believe in growing up as a Catholic. You know, it was at a time that you will hear a lot of things on the news that priests were doing. And to me, I let that fuel I let the enemy fuel my soul.
Yes.
And I would say, it's like, well, why am I going to go to church when I'm probably better than these men who are doing who knows what they're doing? So I would always be that type of man.
Yeah.
I would say, as I'm the type of guy that as long as I'm doing right and I'm not hurting anybody, I'm good with God. Well, it turns out to be that was the enemy feeling me out.
Yes.
But then I got to the point, like I said, it was the process between the company. I was getting tired of running it on my own and hitting the wall. And I would always tell myself, let me bring God into the business. I didn't want to do it. I felt like it wasn't the right thing to do. And then 9 months before my dad gets diagnosed, I start to feel this extremely, very strong feeling in a gut feeling, what people will call it. It's just like, I have this gut feeling like I'm thirsty for Jesus. I want to get to know who he really is, but I'm not going to church. Okay, so I buy a Bible. I get the Bible. And in my own times, I start to read it. I'm like, okay, a lot of these thoughts that I had and questions I'm reading my answers right there. So that's when I started to understand, okay, so something big is going to happen in my life. And I already felt it coming. So in reading the Bible, it went from having my guard up. I'm like, hey, slowly, at his own time, he started to take that feeling away. Until one day, it came to the point, I'm like, before my dad was diagnosed, I'm like walking to the church. I haven't walked into a church for a very long time. And I'm talking 5, 7, 10 years since I was out of church.
That's a long time.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to go, but I'm not going to go during service. I walked into a Catholic church. I forgot the name of it, in Chino Hills. I walked into the church when nobody was there. And even the fact, I remember I was about to go to the apartment, and I said, I'm just going to make a U-turn. I'm like, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually going into the church. Okay, well, I'm just going to go.
Thank God.
I pull in, I walk in, I sit down. Lord, I'm here. I'm at a church. I've been getting to know you a little bit better. What's happening? What is it that you need from me? And then all of a sudden I felt his presence. I just remember sitting there. I just felt like somebody was hugging me, and I just started crying in the church by myself. That was how I started my relationship with them. Go to the house. I didn't even tell my wife any of these things have happened, because it was because of me and my negativity that I might have caused somehow a gap between my wife and her relationship with God, because that's who I was at the time. I'm not saying it was her, it was me, but you know, as a man in the household, you have a lot to do as a leader of the house, whether you want to bring the family closer to him or you want to pull them away from him.
Yes.
So 9 months later, my dad comes and tells us, hey guys, I got diagnosed with cancer. It's lung cancer, stage 4, terminal. The first thoughts that came into my heart, instead of saying why, it was like, I knew this was going to happen. I'm like, you've been preparing me for this. And that's how my relationship with them got started to get stronger and stronger, to the point that not once have I fought the Lord. Why did you give my dad the cancer? Or all of the things that I've gone through. I was supposed to be dead at the age of 12. You know, doctors told my mom I wasn't going to live past the age of 12, but I knew I was going to be fine. That house, that was the initial process of building my relationship back with him. Because he was always there. I was the one that I was too busy with the things of the world. I was too busy and trying to make the company and trying to make all this money that I lose sight of what really was. You said it at the beginning of the podcast, is having a real purpose. You know, it's not my purpose in life. It's not the business, but it used to be. You know, it was sad, because what price should we pay just to trying to get to what we want in this earth?
Exactly.
And we lose sight of what really matters, which is the purpose, not the goals. So now that I have this relationship with them, my purpose is to be able to just plant the seed in as many people as I can and let him do the rest.
Yeah, and
that's all we got to do.
And you have the perfect setup for it, because now you can reach people not just in this country, in this, you know, and that's the beauty of what we can do now. And that's why AI, we don't fight it. But I have a question for you. Who did you first share to when you accepted the Lord?
My wife.
What did she say?
It wasn't my wife. You know what? This is what I love about my wife. Because I've gone through a lot of stages in my life. I was flying planes. I was riding motorcycles. I did a lot of different things in my earthly life before I came to him. The first thing she told me is like, well, let's see if this is something you stick to, if it's just one of your things. Like when she said that, I'm like, that showed me, that didn't make me angry. That made me to understand, like, this is what I've been projecting for a long time in my own household. There's so many things that I want to do, and I just find the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. When she said that, it was like, she's right. Like, and that was the first thing that I asked the Lord. Like, Lord, please don't let this be a thing only. Amen. Don't let this go away. And that turned into my it's not fear to God. It's a fear of walking away from Him one more time.
Yes.
And being on the earthly side without Him. That is what I fear the most today. To make the same mistakes again, blessing us again with the financial resources, that I take my focus from Him and focus it again in the money. That is my biggest fear. But once I told my wife that, and she told me those words, I'm like, she's right.
I hope you don't mind. And you don't, of course. How long have you been married?
It's going to be a decade next, actually not this year, 2025, 10 years.
And that's why, this is the reason why I'm asking you. We always say this is a relationship with God. Mm-hmm. I think that's what people should know now. You had hobbies. Mm-hmm. Those are, we can get tired of those, or, we could outgrow those. But what you have is the same as a relationship with your wife. You don't divorce God.
Yeah. Amen.
So if this were a hobby, if this were something you just are hot for right now, like this is what I'm obsessed with, then it will just go the way of. But this is a relationship. I'm sure you've had ups and downs. So God forbid it's a low again, right? And even in the relationship with God. Because of us. Don't think it's the end of the relationship. Because again, it's a relationship, not a hobby. Yeah. Just get back up and say, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's especially for those who are listening. That's why we call it a relationship. There's going to be ups and downs.
Yeah.
When you're down, just keep running to Him, because there's always a wife who will be waiting for you, who will forgive you, who will just give you another chance again. But even if your wife loves you a lot, there's God, bigger, million times better than the spouse who would take you back in. Yeah. And so so if you're backsliding right now and you think, oh no, I'm so forget it. Look at the son, the prodigal son, right? Yeah. He's in a pigsty. Maybe you are in a pigsty right now. Feeding pigs and wanting to eat the pig's food. Yeah. Just go back to the Father. Yeah. And so that's what you have now. You have a relationship that you're now committed to God. You have, of course, in earthly world, you have a wife. Right. But in your spirit world, you have God as your Father. Oh, yeah. You've been adopted. Don't think you know how they say an adopted person, and I'm sorry, I hope I didn't interrupt. An adopted person always gets the thing ready, the bag, because they think they might be let go again. No, you're already a child. You're not the biological child here. You're now a child. You're now a child. You're now a child. You can always go back home. I pray and hope that we have, you don't leave, just like a teenager. Yeah, yeah. But this is your home, and so this is your life now. Yeah. You can't disengage yourself from the Lord. 100% this is it, right?
And to kind of bring that back into perspective, when I walked away when I wasn't with the Lord, I lived a completely different lifestyle. I was in the music industry. Oh. I was playing shows. I was playing really amazing venues that somebody would dream of playing when you're playing music. Lived it. I lived that life. But man, that was a life that I don't want to go back to. It was...
Still use your musical abilities.
I don't use them anymore. I don't. I don't use them anymore.
Don't bury your talents.
But you know what, though?
Now you use it for...
But you know what, Ella? I knew that that wasn't the path that He had for me.
Oh, really?
It was the path that I wanted as a man, because it boosted my ego. And I just had this conversation. We just released this podcast with Pastor Justin. Music was about an ego to me. being on stage and
You
playing
recognize
the
this,
drums.
that-
But I knew that it wasn't the right way to do it because it wasn't the right type of attention that he had created for me. You know, with the music came the drugs. With the music came the sexual immorality.
Yes.
With the music came all of those things that open up to that type of lifestyle.
Yes.
And I got to the point that I will do it. I would have the gig. I would take the drug, but I knew it's like, come on, you know this is not what I have for you. But now that what you just said right now is like now I get the chance to still be on stage. I still get to have people look at what I'm talking about and what I'm saying, but now it's a complete different message.
Yeah.
With a complete different lifestyle.
You're a conduit, just a conduit.
Exactly. So it's like, well, I don't think the music is what I want to go back to, but I do love the life that he's providing now.
Amen.
And he had it ready this whole entire time. I wanted it to be my way.
The peace.
Once I gave up of my way, everything opened up. You know, so, you know, you're right. He's still providing an amazing vehicle to
Yes.
share his words. And I still got the chance to be on stage 3.5 weeks ago, but with a complete different message this time. And I love it. You know, there is something about being in the center of the attention of a lot of people, but now it's not me the center of attention.
Yes.
It's the message that is the center of the attention.
The only thing that's worth bringing home for
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. So to kind of bring it back to what you were saying, once, how did I came to know Jesus? That was the process of me getting to build my relationship until one trip back from Texas. I was literally waiting at the airport in Dallas, and I said, I want to get baptized.
Oh,
I want to get baptized.
thank you, God.
I don't know where it came out. I'm literally on the waiting room of the airport. I don't know where I just felt like I want to get baptized. And I said, what? I even said this to myself. I want to get baptized. Where is this coming from? And I said, you know what? I don't know where it's coming from. I'm
It was
having this
clear.
conversation
It
with
was
myself.
clear.
I'm talking to myself. I'm like, why am I thinking this? And then all of a sudden, from why do I want to think about this? I call my wife. I'm like, babe, I think I want to get baptized. She goes, what? I want to get baptized. She goes, okay. So kind of going back to the point, like, I hope this is not just temporary. But since she said that comment, it probably was about 18, 19 months now. I'm like, I want to get baptized. I'm like, I'm not walking away from him. I'm not doing it again. And then it went from, well, let me make a call. A friend of mine who's pastor, Pastor Manuel, I call him, hey, when are you going to be in California? So he had a trip already planned out because he lived in Texas. I'm coming back from Texas. He tells me, well, I'm going to be out there this, and this dates. I said, you want to baptize me on that day, on that trip? I'll go pick you up.
wow.
You can stay at my house. The Lord made everything happen so amazingly that I got baptized at the house.
Oh, wow.
So that was 3.5 years ago. So it's been an amazing process
Yes.
to build a relationship with him, a true relationship.
What do you see moving forward with both your business and your ministry, if I may ask?
No. So the ministry, I've always asked God, once I've understood what my purpose is in life, not the KPIs, not just the bottom line of the business. My true purpose, once I've understood is, well, how can my life be a testimonial for somebody else to come and get closer to him? Once I've accepted the fact that he's building a business platform that I can leverage to go out and share his word, then I started to put the dots together that he had already put there in place. I was just not blind to see him anymore.
Amen.
The business continues to run. The business continues to provide for everybody. But now I understand how to manage the business properly with him first, not just me first in the
Yes.
business. And the business is speaking up again after what we went through last year. How is the business working to fund the ministry? I've always told the Lord, I don't want to become a pastor because I don't want people to have to feel like they have to give me money to go out and do the work. So now I've understood that the business that he put together for this past decade, he's now funding these opportunities, is what I've been praying for. How can I go and talk about you without having to ask people for money?
Yes.
Okay, boom, there it is.
We just before this podcast, that's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
People see sometimes somebody with your talents, just like I asked you about your music, and thinking, oh, you can be a pastor someday. But sometimes the ones with the talent like that, we don't get called to be pastors.
Yeah.
We get called to have business to fund, to
and
give our tithes.
We're still
Excuse me.
ministering. We're still evangelizing people along the way. So I always tell the Lord, it's like, man, if you take this business away from me and all I can do is just talk about you, man, I'm all in. But that's not his plan.
Amen.
Because he's giving me the voice through business so that people see it differently. They see the message differently. Mm-hmm. They don't hear it from a priest. They don't hear it from a pastor. They hear it from a simple man who came across Jesus and decided to give him his life. And I'm glad I did it at the time that I did. And I'm glad now I get to listen to his voice.
Amen.
So to answer your question, says, I don't know what his plan is. Mm-hmm. But I like it so far. I like what he's doing.
Amen.
And I'm going to keep on doing this as much as I can. It's simply spreading the message through a podcast, through presentations like the one that we're going to have on July 17. You'll see my presentation. I have scripture in there. But it's also through the business, because it's through the business that he's built this platform. So we try to find the fertile soil through the business.
Exactly.
People coming to listen to the business of the message of business, but then I'm still throwing in the seeds in there. So some people are picking it up.
And actually, sometimes the Christians think, since we're in the Lord, we don't have to do this. You're in the insurance business. Mm-hmm. It's funny how you want people to say, you should have insurance when, of course, we're insured in God's. But what people don't realize is the Christian is actually the most responsible. Mm-hmm. The Christian is the most responsible, whether at work, insuring, like literally insurance for your business, because that's what we do. We make sure we're responsible to our kids, we're responsible to everybody, to your spouse, that you don't leave them. What if you got taken first? You get taken first, or somebody else, and that's what you're offering, right? Because I know, especially when I came from an evangelical church, now we're Nazarenes, right? Okay. But it was funny, like some people wouldn't go to even to doctors because they think, if you lay hands. Now, of course, the Lord did lay hands, and there are still miracles that's happening. Right. But the Lord also created doctors and nurses. Yes. To heal. Yeah. And so, and
in the book of Deuteronomy, he leaves all of these rules on how to heal. Exactly. How to take care of wounds.
So the science came from the Lord. So all those, and so people won't understand that, why you still keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Not realizing what you're doing is actually the work of the Lord to keep it going.
Yeah, 100%.
Your business is literally to keep this going.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. Because that's a question that I still ask him every day. Like, before you came over this morning and I'm getting ready, I'm like, Lord, if this is what you need me to do, I'll keep on doing it. I just want to make sure that I do it not for my own pleasure, for my own name to get out there.
And actually what's good with God, because we're children, it ends up being okay. Just like you ask for wisdom and he will give you beauty and riches. Yeah. We still we can't mock God and pretend to ask for wisdom when we want beauty and riches. But the Lord is our Father, and He will give you the desires. So if we continue being with Him, and so if we abide in Him, and so it will come. All these that you're doing. So as you serve, it will come. The business will be running okay.
And it is. And it is. And it will for all of you out there. As long as you have an open heart to. If you don't have a relationship with them, open up your heart and be curious. Listen to the gut feeling. Because the gut feeling is not a gut feeling. It's literally the Lord really talking to you. It's God talking to you, telling you to get closer. Let God in your business. Let God in your life. Let God take over your life. Stop doing things on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5-7. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. Seek Him with all your ways and He will guide you in the right paths. Do not consider yourself to be wise and walk away from evil. That proverb changed my whole entire life.
Amen. And actually, people think you can't possibly be doing business in this world and be with God. No. Actually, in this very, very tough world that we have, the best thing is to be in business in the Lord. Because it's so fast. Everything's so fast. Life is so short. It's so fragile. Yeah. Everybody's fragile. The only sure thing you can do now is be in the Lord so that your business will be okay. Amen. And we are actually testimonies to that, right? Yeah. Testimonies of this, wherein you can actually be very successful in business.
Amen.
You because in business there's dog eat dog. There's
Yeah.
you have to be close to the right people. Doors have opened that wouldn't have opened for me if not for the Lord. And I'd rather go in. I'd rather go through that door that the Lord opened than through a door that somebody else did.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be fleeting and they're going to be asking for something else from you.
Yeah.
It's going to be, no, the Lord, He will just keep going, leading you to the right window, the right door, the
Amen.
right everything.
And he closes the
And he
wrong doors.
Yes,
Oof.
amen. Thank
You know how
God.
many times he's taken me out of
Thank
positions
God.
that I wanted to be in the situation, but I'm so glad he closed that
Amen.
door. Yeah.
It will, the peace that you will have.
Yeah.
And if you think we're poorer for what we're doing, you're mistaken.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
we're very okay.
Yeah, we're blessed.
Very okay.
We're definitely blessed more than okay. Ella, it has been a pleasure.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me.
Honestly, I'm so glad you made the drive over here. Thank you for being a speaker at the next Mixing Knowledge, July 17.
Yes.
For all of you that want to learn more about government contracting, you need to come. Maybe you can ask your question, see if your business can qualify for government contracting. But before we go, what are the 3 values for Ella?
It's always everything is about God. That's one thing. Everything that I say, I do. When I came here, I asked my friends to pray that nothing I say will be retained by you if it's not from God and it's not about God. Because it doesn't matter. Whatever my background is, I'm only as good as my testimony. So, testimony.
Amen.
Second, don't be afraid to follow. Because fear is a very strong deterrent to ministry. It took me so long to go on my own and start because it's very nice to have a paycheck that somebody else gives you. And, if the Lord tells you, go build your business and I will lead you, believe Him.
Amen.
Believe Him. But you can't be lazy. You have to be the best, most industrious, because even Paul, with all the epistles that he wrote, all the letters, was a tent maker. And second, and third is, don't ever think that if you fail, you're done for. No. The Lord is an ever merciful, loving God. And you will fail because you will disobey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't listen. We don't listen.
We don't listen. We want it our way. We want it our earthly way.
Because we have skills, we have degrees, we have YouTube to tell us, right? The internet is never wrong. ChatGPT. I will tell you. And you will fall for these, unfortunately. But always go back to the Lord. Always do your devotion. That's every time I was asked, how is your devotion? When I was down, it's like, oh, nothing's going on. Well, how's your devotion? If you need instruction for the daily life that you have to receive the instruction in the morning.
Yeah,
so
amen.
Do your devotion. And then at the end of the day, go back to God. Say, God, this is what happened to me. Of course, He knows, right? But talk to Him. Just like what Jesus did. He prayed all the time. And so always, if there's one thing you have to cling to, the one person, it's good if you're very close to your wife, right? To your mom, everything. But the truth is, just go back to God and just say, God, this is what happened to me today.
Yeah. You said instructions. Thank you for sharing your values. I really appreciate it. And I share a lot of them as well with you.
What about you, may I ask?
No, yeah,
your
definitely. So, God, first thing is God continuing to do His work. Be a disciple. Amen. Go out there and make disciple of others. Amen. That is my number 1 value. 2, be a better husband every single day. Be there for my family. Be there for my wife. And then be a good father. Those are my 3 most important values. 4th, run the company the way He wants me to run it, the way He needs me to run it. But it's no longer the way I want to run it. It's the way He wants me to run it. And I have my values set the minute I came to Him. Is go out there and make disciples of others. Spread the good news just the way I found out about them. Honor my wife, which I'm doing better now at doing that. Honoring my wife. Not just saying I love you, babe, but honoring her. Honoring her. And He blessed me with 2 little lives. Now I got to make sure that I'm raising my daughters on His image. I'm raising my daughters on the path that they get to know Him. And 7 and 3-year-olds, we're praying. We wake up in the morning, we're praying, talk about devotionals. Both of my daughters, they're so young, but I can tell you, they already have an idea that there is a God and they know who God is. That to me is the best that I can ask for as a man. If he calls me tomorrow, I know that we'll be okay because they know him. And they might be a little bit upset because he took me away from them too soon, but yet he's going to fill up that gap. That is the most that I can ask for, and those are my values, is raise my daughters knowing who Jesus is.
May I just say something
Please.
about that? I know. My 5-year-old grandson or grandnephew was in the hospital the other day, excuse me, and thankfully he's okay.
Thank God.
But the ultrasound guy said, Samuel, do you want to see your heart? He said, oh yes, I want to see because Jesus is in my heart. 5 years old.
Wow.
Jesus in my heart. So when you see him, please, I want to say hi. 5 years old.
5 years old.
They listen, they know.
Yeah.
And it's in their heart. They understand this. So don't think they're too young.
No,
and that's why
absolutely not. It's
I'm
the
writing
best
books
time.
for them, because this is where you teach them how you teach them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best that we can do.
Yes.
Honestly, is raise our family. I'm not saying in a religious household. Raise your family in a relationship household with God.
Amen.
That'll take care of you for the rest of our life.
Yeah. They might, I mean, just like us, we probably strayed. We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But whatever, the Lord's word is not going to return to him void.
Amen to that.
We are going to carry it, and it will see you through.
It'll see you through, and you'll think you'll be shocked, but once you understand those are the blessings that He has ready for you, all you gotta say is thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Ella,
Hey,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Speaking about thank you,
Thank
perfect
you.
way to end it up. Like we started this podcast with a prayer, is He gave us the right words to say. He made Himself present. I'm so glad to get to know
you.
and to continue to build this relationship.
I'm glad this is my first podcast too.
Me too. I'm so glad it happened too. So, all right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. A little bit over an hour and a half or so. But
Thank you.
be in touch for everything that we have going on. Please like on YouTube. You can listen to it on Spotify. Follow us on social media. Are you on social media?
No, not
Oh,
yet.
we gotta get you
I
on
know.
social media.
You gotta help me.
We gotta get you on social media. We'll help you out with that. That way you guys can reach out to her. If not, just send me a message if you want to get in touch with Ella. If you have some questions about government contracting or anything else, reach out. You can reach out to her through me for the meantime. But we'll make sure that we get her on social media pretty soon.
I'm not fighting it anymore.
No.
We gotta
we'll get
use
done.
it.
We'll get you going.
Yes.
Probably today before you leave, we
There
should
you
get
go.
create your own page.
Yes.
That way we can tag you on this.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we'll get that done today. Have a blessed day,
you.
everybody.
God bless.
Bye-bye.